Bucky wants to be in the middle.
He's my friend.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You started.
What are we talking about?
What's coming up?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, go.
All right, get her ready.
Okay.
What? You have kiss marks all over her.
It happens.
Well, hey everybody. It's Grant and Randa again. We are here to talk about some exciting new things we've got coming up in a couple days. Randa, what would be coming up in a couple days?
Our 2-year wedding anniversary.
That's right. We got married 2 years ago here in Bryan. And
Oh yeah, we got married 2 years ago. We dated for exactly 14 months. And we were engaged for exactly 14 months.
Yep.
So Grant asked me to be his girlfriend on October 4th, 2014.
Yep.
Then he asked me to marry him on December 4th, 2015.
Yep.
And then we got married on February 4th, 2017.
Yep.
And we were looking at a spring wedding because clearly you cannot get married in the fall in Texas during football season if you're married to Texas A&M's biggest football fan.
That's sacrilegious. Everybody knows you don't get married during football season. Even if you get married on a weekend when there's not a home game, in the future there will be a home game on that weekend. Meaning anniversaries. You got to think ahead, folks.
Oh
you can't just think about one day. You got to think about the rest
And
of your
then
life.
when there's the one bye weekend in the fall, everyone's getting married.
Everybody.
Yeah. So we really wanted a time that wasn't very popular because I didn't want to have to stress about getting my vendors or the people I wanted and booking them a year and a half out. So January and February is the least popular time to get married.
That and the fact
in
that
Texas.
The Texas summers are so brutal, and she wanted an outdoor wedding.
Grant was like, I'm
not gonna make people go outside and sit in 100-degree weather in the middle of Texas heat. Like, I just can't do that to people. So we figured even if it's a little colder, people can bundle up, and it's still a lot more comfortable than the Texas
So we went
heat.
down from spring to narrowed it down to January, February. And so I obviously wanted January because I was like, I want to marry you sooner. And Grant, oh. So I remember we were driving and I was like, what's probably the first weekend in February? And you know, livestock girl me, I'm like, Fort Worth Steer Show. And Grant.
Rodeo.
And Grant said.
No, it's Super Bowl weekend.
Super Bowl weekend.
Duh, football.
So, I looked up when Super Bowl or where it was going to be in 2017, and it was going to be in Houston, which it like never comes to Texas.
That's correct. And believe it or not, I actually had access to 50-yard line tickets at the club level for our anniversary or for our wedding presents. But after checking into the pricing, I could have got the tickets, but they were a little more than I would prefer to spend.
So we decided to go on a honeymoon,
right,
and have a Super Bowl party the day after we got married.
That's exactly right.
And we figured in the future, Super Bowl will fall on our anniversary at some point, and by then, hopefully, we'll be more established and have more spending money in our life.
Yep.
And we can go to Super Bowl wherever it is.
Yeah, one of these days, I definitely want to go to the Super Bowl and do
when
the whole weekend.
When it's on our anniversary.
That too,
right?
Yeah, there's Super Bowl or anniversary. However you want to spin it, we just need to go one day. So that would probably work out well.
Barbie. And so yeah, we looked up and it was February 4th, and it was so the Saturday before was February 4th, and the Super Bowl was gonna be in Houston. So I was like, Grant, oh my God, we can get married on February 4th. We can go to Super Bowl afterwards and then go on our honeymoon. Of course, obviously we only did the honeymoon. And I remember adding up the dates, and I was like, do you know that means we will be dating for exactly 14 months and engaged for exactly 14 months.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's a real weird coincidence. You didn't just realize that, did you?
And so 2-4-17, I'm all about like numbers and puns, and any way I can be lovey-dovey with Grant. I mean, I think it drives him a little bit crazy, but I know he secretly likes it a lot. He just might not want to publicly admit it. It was like 2-4-1-7, and I was like, if you make that dash, like the one like a dash, it's like I love you 24/7 all the time.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet.
So it was leading up to Valentine's Day, and we did it at Miramont Country Club.
Yep.
Which is like literally a mile from where we live. So it's really cool that it's like where our roots are. You know, we both met living close to each other here in Bryan. Sorry, Barbie's just kind of dances to her own.
She does her own thing. It's fine.
Oh, classic fairy tale meets Victorian Valentine.
That's it.
Because it was leading up to February 14th, and I didn't want to do a Valentine's Day themed wedding, but I wanted to kind of do a theme on timeless love. And so it was lots of antique mirror. We had a unicorn there with a fluffy horn. Bucky the Bulldog got to come. I still cannot believe that Miramont Country Club allowed Bucky to come to our wedding. And so there was 40% chance of rain the day that we got married, and I was looking at it a month out every day. My friends were telling me, don't look at it. It's just going to stress you out. Well, I couldn't help myself. And it was like, we had to decide by that morning if we were going to do it outside or inside. And the biggest thing is if we did it outside, the unicorn couldn't come and Bucky couldn't come because he wasn't allowed inside the clubhouse. So I know where everyone's like, oh my God, it would be beautiful whether it was inside or outside. I agree, but I really wanted the unicorn there and Bucky to be
And our friend got to go, so that was pretty cool.
Yes.
We got a bunch of really good pictures.
We were taking the bridesmaids pictures like an hour before the ceremony, and we were outside, and there were like start to come a little sprinkles.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And the week before, we had looked at getting a clear tent to like tent outside so we could still have the ceremony and everyone stay dry and the unicorn and Bucky. And because it was Super Bowl weekend, everything was like super surcharged. Yeah. And I think just the clear tent was going to be like
10 grand.
Starting at 10 grand.
Yeah, it was like crazy money, and I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, so we just kind of risked the weather, and it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. Yeah,
it did.
Plane.
Yep, it was raining a little bit, like during our, like when we left and the end of our reception. Yeah. But we went outside and took pictures and the videos, and it was kind of cool having a little bit of rain, which they say rain on your wedding day means good luck.
Absolutely.
And I would say that 2 years into marriage, guys, I would like to report that I think I'm with this guy forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I committed to it when we got married 2 years ago, but I don't want to go anywhere. I really like life with him.
Well, you're a nice lady.
Do you like life with me too?
Of course, Father.
Of course, every time he gets mad at me, I'm like, do you still love me? Do you still wish you would have married me? Do you still want to be married to me? And then whenever I'm sassy and I upset him, I always say, I'm not the one who asked me to marry them.
Yeah, you chose me. You chose this life. And I'm like...
You asked me.
And I'm like, be that as it may, you still don't do that. Cut me a bone here, or cut me some slack here.
So, yes, I do really like to share and promote our relationship and our marriage on my blog and social media, which can kind of be a double-edged sword. I remember whenever I was, like, single and even dating and engaged and running this business, and, you know, it was kind of a big transition for me to learn to put this human being over everything else in my life I'd ever known, including being very independent and a business owner and striving for my own personal goals. So that was an adjustment for me. But thank God I had some really good mentors that guided me that way. So that's kind of the main reason that I do share a little bit about our marriage or relationship on my blog, is I do think that, you know, there's not a lot out there where you see people promoting marriage over business. And I get it, because when you put your marriage out there, it can be, my marriage is the most precious thing to me in my life.
Right.
And when you put it out there, it can be, people can think, oh, they're just acting perfect, or they think they're perfect, or can you imagine how bad they must really fight? Or there's just so many things that can be attacked, or you're putting yourself out there for some negativity, you know?
And no matter what you might see on anybody's life on Instagram or, you know, social media, nobody's perfect. Everybody has issues. Everybody has to go through things.
Oh yeah, we fight. We let each other down. We struggle. Grant's an only child, so sometimes when we're making up, I'm like, this is what it would have been like if you had a sibling. You have to hug me and love me anyways.
I'm like, I don't want it.
Even though you might want me out of the room and away from me right now. So it's really just learning to work through things, because we've committed to each other forever.
Yep.
And we don't take that lightly. And I think that we've only been married 2 years, but I feel like each year that passes, that commitment becomes even stronger, and you like, not that it wasn't respected before, but it becomes deeper and more real. Like, we're in this life together.
Right.
It's us.
That's it.
And the Bulldogs.
Yeah. And our friends.
And the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to kind of put that out there as far as why I share a little bit about our marriage. I'm very grateful that Grant allows me to, because Grant does a lot to help me on Instagram. He plays the Instagram husband. He takes the pictures. He does all the stuff, and I have to kind of tread on like a gray area sometimes. I can't overstep his man card.
At the end of the day, I'm a man, and I still want to do manly things, but I don't have a problem helping her out with her girly things.
Because it helps my career, which helps our family.
Which I get, and I'm willing to do a lot of it, more than most. But there does come a time where I'm like, hey, enough's enough, or I'm not going to put that crazy outfit on, or we're not going to do that.
And I get that. Like, we just need to go to the deer stand, leave the phones, no Instagram, no social media, just enjoying each other's presence and nature and outdoors, and, getting back to the basics. I love weddings so much, y'all. It stresses Grant. Like, every time we go to a wedding, or we watch a scene of a movie on a wedding, or a scene of a wedding on a movie, I freak out. Like, tell him about Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh gosh, the whole time. I mean, she's like coming over the seats, like wanting to hug me, and it's like it's so emotional, it's so pretty. He just
if
loves
you
her.
have seen
like,
the Crazy Rich Asians, whenever it's like the walk down the aisle. So when we were like planning our wedding, you know, the walk from me starting to walking to Grant was probably one of the biggest, most important details to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very visual, and I'm a feeler, and I'm emotional, and Grant is very analytical and literal, and 1 + 1 = 2, and this is the way a crow flies, and this is the quickest way. So I remember we looked at one church, and I'm like, Grant, like the center aisle is so short, like there would really be no walk. And he's like, why does that matter? You get to me quicker.
Yeah, well, I don't understand what the problem is.
And then when I'm like, Grant, think about it. Like, I'm going to be walking down the aisle with my dad. We're going to be playing one of the most beautiful songs of our love story. You're going to be emotional looking at me. I'm going to be emotional looking at you. Like, that is, I will never forget the walk. I mean, I can still see who was standing on the back row. And when I turned and saw Grant, even though we had a first look, it was still so special and meaningful. And then it's like clicks with Grant. He's like, oh, the walk is a big thing.
Yeah, I didn't really get it per se until like actual wedding day. Even in rehearsals, I was like, taking too long, whatever. Well, wedding day, I was always like, I kind of had a feeling I was going to cry or shed a tear or two, but like, I didn't realize I was going to get that emotional. Like, it was really, really kind of crazy to me because I'm just sitting there and all of a sudden my best man like gives me a big old pat on the shoulder. He's like, just let it go, bro. And I was like, so I'm up there and everybody's just laughing at me and I'm just like, get it together.
Aww.
So finally, as she's walking, I'm just sitting there like wiping the tears out of my eyes. I'm like, come on, pull it together, bro. And so finally, by the time she got to me and I had my emotions under control, we were able to...
the pictures of me walking down the aisle, I'm like, just crying.
Just trying to fight it.
And there's one of Grant, probably one of my favorite wedding pictures is of Grant right before I was out. So he was just kind of waiting at the aisle and he's like just looking straight up and he looked so joyful and happy. And I like to think he's thanking God for putting me in his life, even though sometimes he probably wonders, why did he choose me? So what did it have to do with, how are we talking about the walk down the aisle?
I don't know.
I brought that up for some reason. Talking about the walk.
It's just emotional.
Just emotional.
It's like this.
Oh, Crazy Rich Asians. So, if you've watched when she goes to, it's the cousin's wedding, right? That she goes to?
Yeah.
You know, and the mom had kind of been mean to her and she just shows up all by herself. Her fiance is like in the wedding. It's his family. Well, that moment, like, I mean, that production, there's like a waterfall coming out and butterflies and she steps out in this gorgeous dress, like a fashion, sparkly dream. And it's like a big pause right before she takes the step and they're playing the Can't Help Falling in Love with You. Mm-hmm. And I just cry every time. I'm like, Grant, you know my favorite is the walk during a wedding.
Yep.
And then I think the second favorite part of our wedding for me was the very last dance that we had.
Yes. So originally when we first got engaged and everything, I'd always had it in my head that no matter who I married, because, you know, I like to think I have any kind of say-so on the wedding day, was Stony LaRue.
No. Hey. No. Act like a lady. She loves Bucky.
God. So anyway, one of the songs that, or the song that I wanted to have my first dance to at my wedding was always Stony LaRue, Feet Don't Touch the Ground, just because that's my favorite song ever. You know, it's kind of talking about how much you love somebody. It's just a great love song. Well, Randa immediately was like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Well, they said it wasn't going to be the first song, but I actually played that on our first date.
Correct.
Remember when you gave me and you were like, I want to dance this on my wedding. So instead of making it the first song,
right?
That's right. I made it the very last song.
Right. So that, and of course, you know, with a lot of the wedding details, I was just there. I didn't really know what was going on. I was just doing as I was told on that day, which most men need to do that, need to realize that. Just let the woman have their day. And so all of a sudden, she was like, last dance, and I didn't have a clue. And all of a sudden, it started playing, and I just broke down crying. And I'm like, Grant, what is going on today? Like, get your stuff together.
We had cleared everyone out of the room, and we like held each other like 7th grade dancers. Like, my arms are on here, his arms are around my back, and we just leaned on each other and cried. It was like,
I did have a couple buddies sneak in to see it, and they took a couple pictures on their phone and sent
we got it on video.
And we got it on video. And it was just a moment that was probably the most sentimental moment that I can remember for the entire wedding day, because you know, everybody tells you that your wedding's going to fly by and you're not going to remember it. Well, I don't really remember the majority of the wedding day or whatever, just because he was so busy. We were getting tugged in all kind of directions. So it's cool to go back on our wedding video and see. I'll be like, once I kind of see the video, I'm like, oh, I remember that. But having to piece it back together, it was just.
But having that special moment, like just for us, absolutely. No one else there.
Yep.
Like there was no rush. Like the wedding was over, the reception was over, so you're not having to stick to a time frame. And it was something that was free. It's not like we had to spend money to have a private special dance at the end.
Right.
So it was probably one of the most meaningful things of our entire wedding.
Yep. That would be number one for me, for sure. Yeah. And then, of course, Randa surprised me on the exit. We had a 1961 Rolls Royce ticket there. I think that's what it was. Well, she ended up having them take us over to Kyle Field so we can take some pictures of Kyle Field because I'm a diehard Aggie, and she thought that'd be really cool, which was awesome.
I know Grant would have loved to get married on Kyle Field, but I didn't want a football-themed wedding.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could have made it happen. Like, I mean,
yeah,
I just...
Miramont was just so much more beautiful.
Yeah.
So I never told him, but I actually was trying. I tried to pull every string I could possibly get my hands on to get the lights on at Kyle Field after our wedding, and I was going to try and take our photographers with us, surprise Grant, just take pictures at Kyle Field. But they were like, basically, unless you're probably like God or Johnny Manziel, you're not getting the whole stadium lights turned on in the dark, especially on a weekend.
Yeah, it's got to be expensive just to turn the lights
on. But I somehow convinced Grant to get back in his tux like a month later. Yep. And I rented us out a half an hour at Kyle Field. And Luke and Kat came, we got all dressed up again. And we went and rode in the car to Kyle Field, did our Kyle Field pictures. And I have to say, y'all know I'm like picture queen. Like picture for my blog, picture for my business, picture of my bulldogs just because they're alive.
Picture just because you want to have a picture. You haven't taken a picture in the last 20 minutes. I mean,
yes. Like,
I don't know. It's just weird.
I love pictures. But whenever we got those pictures back from Kyle Field, you went straight to your bed, you had your iPad, he saved every single one of them, made them like the backdrop on all of his devices, shared them on Facebook, like...
Yeah. Pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, I'm not big into the pictures, but I understand that we've got to take pictures for her and all that kind of stuff. But after seeing them, I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, it was an experience.
And I think, so Barbie Love is our newest family edition, if you're new to following us. We got her in October?
October, yeah.
October. Bucky was an only child of almost 12 years.
Yep.
And we wanted to bring some life back to him, and he has now gained 5 pounds of healthy weight. It took 3 months, but he is starting to accept his little sister.
Yep. Today was the first day that we're starting to let little girl sleep with us now. And last night was the first night. Bucky laid on top of me. She laid on top of him. And we were on our own little corner. And so it was all 3 of us just piled up like a bunch of puppies, like a pack of puppies. So he's accepting it. He's dealing with it. So.
Grant wants to sleep all by himself with nobody touching him. And between me and the 2 dogs, everybody wants to be right up on Grant.
Yeah, it's very frustrating because I sleep like a vampire, just sleep on my back, and I just cross my arms and I don't move. Well, when you have everybody, you got 3 little heaters over there, I sweat real bad in the middle of the night. So, you know, I don't get as much sleep as I would prefer because I got to deal with all these cuddle monsters.
But Barbie's been waking me up in the middle of the night to go out. Once in the middle of the night, and then she wakes me up for breakfast. Homegirl loves to sleep, but she's going to wake up and eat her breakfast and then go back to sleep.
And we've actually made I think we're going to make for our next video just a documentary on her eating habits.
Seriously.
It's like a vacuum cleaner. It's just gone. It's like she just inhales and the whole bowl of food is gone. Like, it's really, really impressive.
She does. And Bucky eats so slow compared to her.
Oh, he'll eat 1 cup of dog food throughout the entire day, and it takes him the whole day to eat it. She'll eat her feeding 1 little half cup we give her in maybe 45 seconds.
I think it's like 15.
No, it's longer than that.
Okay.
All right, we'll compromise and say between 30 and 45.
Yeah, it's fast.
Yeah.
So we also just launched a new business.
Yeah, it's called Power.fit.
Tell them about it, Grant.
POWHER.fit. Just it's a fitness app, mainly geared for women.
But not only women.
Not only women, too.
Marketing, we're focusing on women because we want to protect the women. We don't want husbands or men that know boundaries with married women or gay men or anything like that. But I don't want a bunch of creeper men coming in thinking they're going to just get their hands on a bunch of women in the fitness industry with this app.
Right. But it's a great full body workout. We've had a lot of really good responses. We've got a 5-day trial for it, which was great because, you know, we're really proud of our product. So we'd like for everybody to try it out for 5 days, and if you like it, you know, continue on membership. And if it's not for you, hey, no harm, no foul. You didn't have anything to lose, so we think that's a great aspect.
And Grant's now coming to work out with me 2 or 3 days a week, where he used to only do 1.
I hate the gym, and I mean, I cannot stand the gym, but I have been forcing myself to go, but because the workouts aren't so, like normal workouts, it's, 5 bench press for 10 reps, 5 sets of 10 reps.
Or arm day, leg day.
Like, I don't want to walk out of there with my arms just completely just wanting to fall off or rising up or whatever. So that's why I like our workouts, is that it's a full body workout. Now, you're going to be sore when you leave, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's more enjoyable, it's more entertaining, it's not just killing one part of the muscle. You get to do a lot of different exercises, which is actually kind of fun. And
Grant's getting some little results, and so I think that keeps him wanting to go.
Yeah, I'm actually losing weight. My clothes are fitting better. I'm starting to get muscles like I had in college, which I hadn't seen those in a while, so it's nice. I mean, I'm really enjoying it.
He needs to have his own hashtag now.
Yeah, we haven't figured out what that's going to be, though.
What's mine?
Grant's Hot Wifey for Lifey.
Do you love it?
Oh, yeah. That's actually pretty good, I'm not going to lie. We got to thank Morgan Hill for that one.
No, Morgan Hill came up with our wedding one.
Yeah, that's right.
Every wish granted. And then, I've been sweating for the wedding. That was my hashtag. And all the working out. Kind of all leads into my fitness story. But I was like, man, I worked my ass off for my body for the wedding and honeymoon. And then I'm like, I don't want to let it go. I want to see, how much further I can go. And I had gone to the gym every day for a month before our wedding and actually lifted. That's kind of when the lifting started. And I just had better results. And then afterwards, like when I would post my fitness videos, I'm like, well, I'm not sweating for the wedding anymore. What am I doing? And so it was our friend Meredith McCoy that said,
that's right, yeah.
Your hashtag Grant's Hot Wifey for Life.
Absolutely.
So now I tell Grant he needs his own hashtag for me.
Yeah, so I need help with that because like I'm trying to get in better shape and really sustain a healthy lifestyle. Watch my eating, working out. I'm not going to work out 7 days a week because that's just not what I'm going to do.
Well, our program is already only
it's only
5
5 days
workouts and then 1 active recovery.
Right, absolutely. But having said that, I need a hashtag. I don't know what we're going to do with it.
I love it. I can't wait. Were you just looking down my chest?
Nope.
It would be okay if you did because we're married.
We'll edit it. That won't be in the video, so it's perfectly fine. Oh, we're this close to finalizing the sale of Southern Jewels.
Yes, I cannot wait to introduce y'all to the new owner. She's so precious.
She's gonna be awesome. And
yes.
We're really, really happy about the transition of that.
I'm still gonna be a part of it. I'm still gonna be influencing. You're still gonna see me involved.
Yep.
So don't think I'm leaving her high and dry or y'all high and dry.
No, we're both gonna be still pretty heavily involved. With a lot of different aspects. You'll still see Randa a ton in there, and she really wants to have the company do well because it's obviously her baby. So. We're excited about that, and just staying busy.
Randa Carrabba the labels moving forward.
Absolutely.
I'm wearing one of my dresses, so it had to be put on hold for a little while I got the fitness app up and running. But this evolution journey kind of seemed like a long dark tunnel for a little while, and I think we're finally seeing light at the end. And but he's starting to really like Barbie, and Grant likes her 85% of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. But what's cool about the labels, I believe Runway Houston just picked up the line.
Or they want to feature it in their spring fashion show.
Absolutely.
So, and I've got my friend Tim helping me more with it now. So I'm really excited about getting back into Randa Carrabba the label, but I really wanted to focus on getting PowerFit a really good base product in the app. And then after launch, it needed my TLC for a couple weeks after, just because I'm learning, the members are learning, we're learning a new program, there were some kinks that we need to work out. We're still actually working on some updates this weekend.
Yep.
So yeah, all those things are exciting. And I want Grant to kiss me in front of everybody because it's our 2-year anniversary. Aww.
Lipstick.
One more.
Not just in the face. All right.
Okay, so. Is there anything else?
I was just going to say bye to everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.